Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Gauri Badhebankar, Assistant Professor in Department of Ophthalmology. Today we'll be discussing about physiology and neurology of vision. So, a clear image is formed on the retina by the optical system with the act of accommodation. So, a clear image is formed on the retina by optical system of the eye, which is composed of cornea and lens with the help of accommodation. The cornea accounts for two-thirds of refractive power of the eye. The lens further refracts the light rays entering the eye and is responsible for ability to see objects at all distances. The ability to see at all distances is due to focusing power of the lens, which is due to change in the shape of the lens brought about by contraction and relaxation of ciliary muscles. When ciliary muscles contract, the zonules are relaxed and lens assumes more spherical surface to see near objects. This is called as accommodation. When the ciliary muscles relax, it becomes flatter to see distant objects. The pupillary size is adjusted for varying light intensities by the reflex contraction and dilatation of sphincter pupillae. So focusing or accommodation is the ability to see at all distances is due to focusing power of the lens, which is due to changing the shape of the lens, which is brought about by contraction and relaxation of the ciliary muscles. Coming to visual pathway. For perception, it needs intact visual pathway to transmit the impulses to the visual cortex where they are interpreted. The clear image acts as stimulus on the surface of retina. Visual pathway is a neuronal network that extends from retina to visual cortex, where processing of the visual information occurs. There are about 1 million ganglion cells and 125 million photoreceptors. There is one-to-one correspondence between the photoreceptors and ganglion cells at the fovea, but in the periphery, there are more photoreceptors than the ganglion cells. The nasal fibers cross in the optic chiasma. So here you can see the visual pathway which starts from the optic nerve, optic chiasma, then to optic tract, lateral geniculate body, optic radiation, and finally into the visual cortex. So vision is a visual representation of reality. The light falling upon retina causes two essential reactions, the photochemical and electrical. Light is absorbed by photoreceptors and initiates photochemical changes which trigger electrical changes that initiate the visual sensation, which are then processed in retina and then transmitted through ganglion to optic tract, then to visual cortex. The eyes convert the light energy in the wavelength of 397 to 723 nanometers. The spectrum of electromagnetic radiation. Visible portion of the electromagnetic radiation spectrum, it lies between ultraviolet and infrared from 392 to 700 nanometers. The eye is more sensitive to green light. Coming to photoreceptors, there are two types of photoreceptors, rods and cones. 120 million rods are 120 million in number and are absent at fovea and are present more in the periphery. They are responsible for the peripheral vision and vision in low illumination, that is scotopic vision. They contain rhodopsin, that is scotopsin, and 11 cis retinal. Second type of photoreceptor is cones, which are 6.5 million and are highest at the fovea. They are responsible for day vision, central vision, and color vision. They contain iodopsin and three pigments, red, blue, and green. Coming to mechanism of vision, the main mechanism concerned with vision are initiation of vision, transmission of vision sensation, and visual perception. So, initiation of vision or transduction, where rods and cones serve as a sensory nerve ending for visual perception. Then transmission of visual sensation, which occurs via optic nerve, optic chiasma, then to optic tract, then to lateral geniculate body, then to optic radiation, and finally to the visual cortex. Third is visual perception is of four types: light sense, form sense, contrast sense, and color sense. Photochemical changes. The photochemical changes concern the pigments in the rods and cones. Rods, the rhodopsin is present, which is chromoprotein and responsible for preferential absorption of the light. It belongs to family of carotenoids. When exposed to light, it is broken down to through several intermediaries to colorless vitamin A. A process which initiates visual process and gives rise to electric impulses which are transmitted finally to the brain. The photochemical reaction is a reversible type of reaction. Coming to rhodopsin cycle, rhodopsin is in the outer segments of rods and is responsible for the scotopic vision or ability to see in the dark. It has 11 cis retinal as its chromophore. On absorption of photon of light, it initiates photoreaction and activates transducin. It gets bleached as it loses color. Through intermediate process, it converted to scotopsis to initiate the impulse. The process is reversible in the presence of darkness, and two processes are brought together again in the retinal pigment epithelium to form 11 cis retinal. The rod cells respond to signal uh, the rod cell respond to single photon absorption. Reaction in the cones. The pigment in the cones are not yet fully elucidated and each reacts to different band of wavelength in the spectrum, responsible for day vision, central vision, and color vision. This contains iodopsin, that is photopsin and 11 cis retinal, and three pigments are red, blue, and green. They are perceived as red, green, and blue colors. Visual perception or the light sense permits us to perceive light. Light minimum. If the light is gradually reduced in the intensity, there comes a point when it is no longer perceived. It is highest for the fovea. Eye functions in the wide range of lighting conditions. This ability to visualize in different lighting conditions is referred to as adaptation. It is light or dark adaptation. In night blindness, due to various causes, the dark adaptation is lost. In low illumination, the rods are more sensitive and this is scotopic vision. In the bright illumination, the vision is because of cones and this is called as photopic vision. Coming to form sense, it is the ability to perceive the shape of the object. The cones play a predominant role and form sense is highest at fovea and falls off rapidly towards the periphery of retina. Visual acuity is capacity to see fine details of the object. It is highest at the fovea. The form sense is not purely retinal function, but it is largely psychological. Coming to sense of contrast, the ability to perceive slight changes in the illumination between regions which are not separated by definite borders. So it is a part of quality of vision and it is assessed by contrast sensitivity gratings, that is Pelly-Robertson chart. The loss of contrast sensitivity is affected in cataract after refractive surgery, in optic nerve diseases, papilledema, and glaucoma. So here where the darkness is gradually reduced and still you can make out the letters, that is a contrast sensitivity. Color sense, the light perceived by visual system is in range of 397 to 723 nanometers. The light less than 397 nanometers is ultraviolet light, and light beyond 723 nanometers is infrared light. The colors that are perceived are violet, indigo, blue, gray, yellow, orange, and red. It is functions of cones and occurs only in photopic vision. In dark adapted state, all the colors appear as gray. Coming to theories of color vision, first is trichromatic theory, where cones have three pigments absorbing preferential wavelengths of light corresponding to red, green, and blue. Cones have different spectral of sensitivities, and all the colors are perceived by combination of these. Example, sim simultaneous perception of red and green gives sensation of yellow. Second is Herring theory or opponent process theory, where, where it is assumed that three sets of receptors, that is red, green, blue, yellow, and black, white, are present. They function as antagonist pair. Stimulation of one pair produces inhibitory effect on the other. Stimulation of red inhibits the green. It explains the color contrast and cases of color blindness. So it is a color vision chart where we use it for testing of color vision of the patient, and patients are asked to look at these pictures and tell which number they see clearly. Physiology of vision and developing brain. Normal visual pathways are needed for development of the brain. In utero, signals are sent from ganglion cells. After birth, sudden exposure to the light, overstimulation of brain is prevented by delicate balance by right amount of stimulation at right time. Blurred vision at the birth protects the brain from overstimulation. The eyes are not binocularly coordinated, and fixation is established in the first month. Binocular vision develops by 3 months. Normal resolution visual acuity levels are reached after that. The critical period of the vision development is first 3 years and continues till 10 years of age. Coming to pupil pathways and reactions, the pupil is opening in the iris diaphragm, which is dynamic. That is, it constricts and dilates in response to the light. It is controlled by two muscles, sphincter pupillae and dilator pupil. The responses is rapid, delicate, and easily observed, and is of clinical importance. Size of the pupil is a result of impulse from the higher center. Normal size of pupil is about 2 to 3 millimeter, and abnormal enlargement of pupil is called mydriasis, and constriction of the pupil is called as miosis. Nerve supply, which is parasympathetic. The sphincter is supplied by cholinergic fibers through third cranial nerve. It starts from the Edinger vespal nucleus near third nerve nucleus. It has connection with the dilator center as well as frontal and cerebral cortex. Fibers pass in the main trunk via midbrain, in orbit via branch of third nerve, supplying in inferior oblique by short root of ciliary ganglion, and via short ciliary nerves which pierce the sclera and supply the iris. Coming to sympathetic nerve supply, it is supplied by adrenergic fibers of the cervical sympathetic chain, which start from hypothalamus and has connection with the cerebral cortex. Then via medulla oblongata and lateral spinal column, they live through the third dorsal and second cervical ventral roots and enter rami. It runs to thoracic and stellate ganglion, then to superior cervical ganglion, and via carotid plexus into the skull. First division of the fifth nerve ophthalmic nerve via nasal branch enter the long ciliary nerves and then reach to the iris. Pupillary reflexes. First is light reflex. If the light enters the eye, the pupil of that eye contracts, which is called a direct light reflex, and activity shared equally by the other eye, which is called as consensual light reflex. Second is near reflex. A contraction occurs on looking at the near object. A reflex determined by the reaction to the convergence, but in which accommodation also plays a part. Third is psychosensory reflex. A dilatation of pupil occurs on psychic and sensory stimuli, that like pain, emotional states where the psychosensory reflexes are seen. Coming to pupillary abnormalities, first is anisocoria, where pupils are normally equal in size in both eyes, but in some pathological condition they may become abnormal, for like Horner syndrome. Then other unique pupillary disorders are Urgell-Robertson pupil, where myotic irregular pupils, where there is absence of pupillary light response, and but the normal response to the near stimuli are seen, and there is poor dilatation. Second is coma, where pupils are small but reactive to light. Third is tadpole pupil, where sectorial pupillary dilatation is seen, which return to normal and they have a history of migraine or any benign condition. Benign episodic pupillary dilatation, which is commonly seen in young healthy adults, and variable history of migraine is seen. It is a benign condition. Light near dissociation, where better pupillary response to near than the light stimuli is seen. Thank you.